Welcome learners to the last lesson in cell physiology, and we want to look at active transport. Active transport refers to the process through which substances are moved across the cell membrane and against a concentration gradient with the expenditure of energy. That means energy is a condition required for this process to take place. Diffusion and osmosis alone do not account for movement of substances in and out of the cells. In particular, there are some mineral salts that occur at lower concentration in the soil water than in the cell sap. Some of these mineral salts cannot be absorbed by the plant through diffusion. A mechanism that will move them into the cells against the concentration gradient will be useful. Active transport requires energy. This is unlike diffusion and osmosis that depend only on concentration gradient for them to take place. It is said that there are carrier molecules on the cell membrane that aid in the movement of these substances across the membrane. These carrier molecules combine with the substances being transported across the membrane and then move them from one side of the membrane to the other side. Cellular intake of solutes is largely transported through active transport. Substances like amino acids, ions, and sugars do not easily diffuse across the cell membrane. So we are done with that lesson. We want to look at the role of active transport in living organisms. Active transport is important in living things in that it helps in reabsorption of sugars and some salt by the kidney into the bloodstream. This process takes place in the nephron of the kidney, where we have the process of urine formation. It helps in absorption of some mineral salts from the soil by root hairs, where we have mineral salts maybe being in higher concentration, or even if they are in low concentration, they will just have to be transported against the concentration gradient. The other one is absorption of digested food from the alimentary canal of animals into the bloodstream. So digested food must be absorbed. There will be in higher concentration in the alimentary canal, so they will just have to be moved into the bloodstream for them to be transported to various tissues. Active transport also leads to accumulation of substances into the body to offset osmotic imbalance in arid and saline environments. Arid environments are those dry areas, and these saline environments are where we have maybe the oceans, where we have salt water. Of course, we expect the osmotic pressure to be very different. So the substances are accumulated in the body so that the osmotic pressure can be balanced. Moreover, active transport is very crucial in excretion of waste products from the body cells. Having looked at that, we want to look at the factors affecting the rate of active transport. Most factors that affect active transport are those the factors that would affect the energy production in living cells. And these include oxygen concentration, whereby we say oxygen is required in respiration process that yields energy for active transport. And respiration is that process whereby we have food being broken down to release energy, carbon dioxide, and water. So this energy is very necessary for active transport. So in cases of low oxygen concentration, the rate of respiration would be low. Hence, there would be production of little energy that result in low rate of active transport. And on the other hand, an increase in oxygen concentration leads to higher energy production, therefore higher rate of active transport. The other factor is pH. Changes in pH affect the respiratory process, which is enzyme-controlled reaction. Respiratory enzymes require optimum pH for their efficient activity. Extreme pH conditions lowers the rate of active transport, since the enzymes controlling the respiration will be denatured or destroyed. So there must be optimum pH for enzymes to function effectively. Otherwise, they will be destroyed in cases of extreme or pH or even low pH. And pH, remember, is that just degree of acidity or alkalinity. But there are those enzymes that work best in acidic conditions, and there are those enzymes that work best in alkaline conditions. The most important thing is to know that they require, or these respiratory enzymes or all enzymes require optimum pH conditions. Another factor is glucose concentration. Glucose is the main respiratory substrate. Substrate means the food that is being used for the process of respiration. So at low glucose concentration, there will be less production of energy. If there is less production of energy, that means low rate of active transport. And the rate of active transport increases with increase in glucose concentration due to increase in the rate of energy production. The other factor is inhibitors. And inhibitors are substances which act as metabolic poisons. They stop the rate of respiration, leading to production of no or very little energy. That means active, if there is no energy, that means active transport has stopped. That is the end of that lesson. So active transport is very important in transportation of those, even those minerals that are in low concentration in the surrounding, maybe in the soil, compared to those in the cell sap. Substances like iodine are even transported by active transport, especially the seaweed. So seaweeds have higher concentration of iodine in their cells compared to that in the seawater, and they help in concentrating them in their tissues. So we can just go through this assignment that is at the end of this discussion or lesson, and you will be able to understand. And remember, you are a great achiever. Believe in yourself, have faith, and everything is going to work in your favor. Do not forget to revise, and pray. Goodbye. We shall meet in the next topic.